Welcome back to Coffee with the Wolves, presented by JJC Athletics. I'm your host, Damian Dennis, and I'm joined once again by men's basketball coach Danny Turner. Danny, welcome back to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me.
So it's been a while since you were last on. The season continues to roll. Got a few games left here before the holiday break. Uh, Sitting at 5-4 overall, but very aggressive team, let's say. How are you feeling about your team at this point in the season so far?
Well, I tell you what, to be honest with you, I mean, we got a 4-0 start, and to our surprise, and if we could repeat that, we'd go that route again. But we're actually searching. We're searching for the right chemistry. We've had a problem starting the game right from the jump. We've been a second half team, so we're trying to make those corrections. So right now we're searching. We're searching in terms of chemistry, trying to find that solid five that can boost us.
Yeah, and I've noticed so far throughout the season, you've been kind of, like you said, kind of experimenting with that starting rotation, just kind of figuring out where the pieces go. How close do you think you are to kind of figuring out the chemistry, unlocking that cheat code, so to speak?
Well, I tell you what, tonight we played Moraine Valley, very strong squad, and it'll be a true test tonight. And then, of course, early next week when we go up against Prairie State and the College of Lake County, heading into our Minnesota trip. So these next few games will be key to see where we are and where we need to go.
Yeah. Now, I know we got Devon Richardson coming up later on in this show. He's entering the room as I speak. But can you talk a little bit about just, his performance so far this season? And not just him, but the other sophomores as well.
Well, I tell you what, Devin, we've always said he's a 60% guy, meaning 60% of the time when he catches the ball around the basket or in his area, he scores. But at the beginning of this season, he's been a 70% guy. Actually, he's been shooting 74% from the field. And so he's drawn a lot of attention from the opponents. And so he's learning that, getting those double teams and how to respond to that. But he's just been great for us. We're just fortunate to have Devin. He's been doing well, both in the classroom as well as on the basketball court.
And some of those other sophomores as well, because obviously you're leaning on them a bit as you kind of build chemistry here.
Yeah, we've been really, really surprised with our freshmen. You speak in terms of Jeffrey Fleming. I mean, for him to come in and have an impact like he has been incredible. He deserves a start tonight, and he's got to play. He's got to play big minutes in crucial moments of the game because pound for pound, inch for inch, I mean, he gets after it. He goes after it. So, and then, of course, J.D. Rush, another freshman who's been outstanding, who's been really consistent in the starting lineup for us. And so he's played multiple positions for us. Now he started out at the 1, and now he's more of a 2 for us as of today.
Yeah. What do you see from these guys that kind of lends back kind of to the chemistry topic? What do you see from these guys in practice or in live game action that kind of, hey, we're moving in the right direction, we're building that chemistry?
Well, just the understanding of the ideals or the concepts that we bring forth, because we want our kids to have a conceptual approach to the game, and just so understanding the system. And I alluded to these freshmen coming in here and just really grasping and embracing the role and really being sponges, and learning a new system for them, and also to mention Levi Gold. I mean, he's been very, very consistent for us as well, another freshman who we have big expectations for. But just having a conceptual approach, man, just getting after it, setting short-term goals for these guys in practice and so we can make sure that the games are easier in practice. Yeah. That's our goal.
Now, 5-4 on the season, but as you mentioned, 4-0 start to the season. And just a great kind of burst there in the beginning. Mm-hmm. 5-4 now, fighting tonight against Moraine Valley. Unfortunately, this will come out Friday morning, so we don't know what the result is. But you're going to be battling to stay above 500. But some of that level of competition you've faced so far this season has been pretty honestly top tier in some respects. Was it Kalamazoo that was one of the better teams?
Well, I tell you what, I mean, we have to have one of the toughest schedules for a Division III JUCO in the country. We played Kalamazoo. They're in the top 20. We played Wabansie Valley. They got some votes as well. They were in the top 25 when we played them. And so we played some very, very strong teams on our schedule, to say the least. So there aren't any more Division IIIs in the state of Illinois. So all on our schedule are Division Is and Division IIs. But we take pride in competing, no matter what division you are.
Yeah.
We schedule these guys for a reason, but that's where it falls. So we got to go out and compete against these scholarship schools and do our best.
What? How do you kind of practice for those D1s and D2s? Because they're able to offer scholarships. At D3 level, you can't. Just kind of what's your approach from a coaching perspective when it comes to facing those teams?
Yeah. Well, we just tell our kids that they put on their jersey just like we do, and you got to go out and compete against anyone, right? Yeah. So we don't do any type of modification with our drills in terms of because of the competition. We really look at everybody the same in terms of our preparation. We just get after it in practice in terms of our drills. We game plan, and we have a scout team, and we go over those things. But we actually don't emphasize this is a Division II team that you're playing, or this is a Division I team that you're playing. We just emphasize this is your opponent, and this is what they do.
Yeah.
And this is how we're going to counter that.
So, just overall, how would you grade the season so far? Because that 5-4 is a little bit misleading based on everything you've told me here so far.
Mm-hmm. Well, I tell you what, overall, I'd say right now we're about a B. About a B minus, because our freshmen are really starting to really come around in terms of that whole the whole understanding of the concept and of our program. But I'd say probably about a B minus. Because there's always room for improvement, But our kids play hard, and I know the opponent coaches have complimented us well. They have to prepare for us, just like we have to prepare for them.
Yeah. You got a handful of games next week. I feel like most weeks is usually just 2 games. You've got, 4 games next week, something like that?
Yes.
How do you kind of prepare your team for such a grind in such a short amount of time?
Well, I tell you what, the most important thing for me in my leadership role is to pace my program. We do make modifications for practice in terms of that. We have segments of practice where we'll go really, really hard. Then we'll coast and just change the tempo of practice based on that when you have a congestion of games. And short drills and things of that nature. And then, of course, treatment. Our trainer, Claire, has been terrific, and just having access to the training room and with her expertise, she keeps our kids healthy, ready to go.
So, Danny, you got all the games next week, then your Minnesota trip. How you hoping to end the year here before before the holiday break and everything?
Well, yeah, before the holiday break, I mean, hopefully we're well above 500 and heading into our Minnesota trip. We go up to Anoka Ramsey, and that's where we'll play for the first time this year 2 Division II programs, and hopefully come out of a win with that as well, heading into the new year.
All right, and Danny, we're going to start wrapping this up because you've got a game to get ready for, prepare for here later tonight. But as always, I want to ask, what'd you have for coffee this morning, if any? If any?
Well, I tell you what, I had a tea from Starbucks, okay? If that's credit to Starbucks, thank you. But that's what I had.
Nice. All right. Well, Danny, good luck tonight. Good luck, the rest of this year. Obviously, we'll have you back in the new year. But we got Devon Richardson coming up next. And, stay tuned here on Coffee with the Wolves.
As always, thanks for having me.
And next up here on Coffee with the Wolves, I'm joined by men's basketball player Devon Richardson. Devon, welcome to Coffee with the Wolves for the first time, right?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Not the first time, I've drug you into an interview, but first time here. We'll start, just how you feeling about the season so far? How do you feel where this team is and where it's heading?
I'm feeling good. You know, we had a good start actually. You know, slowed down a little bit, but that's a part of basketball. You're gonna have some droughts. So I'm feeling good about this season. I feel like we gonna pick it up,
Yeah.
and you know,
Cool. The 4-0 start,
hmm
hot start to the season, like you mentioned, your coach mentioned it earlier. Currently at 5-4,
hmm
so a little bit of a drop off,
yeah.
but you faced a lot of stiff and tough competition. How does that kind of impact you guys out there on the court, knowing like, hey, we're facing these D1s and D2 schools? How do you kind of adjust to that?
Um, to be honest, I don't really look at it no different from playing a Division 3 school. You know, we all um, got the same goal. You know, just if I feel like the team that comes out and play harder, you know, they can. It's like a 50-50 thing. If you come out and play hard, you know, it's a higher chance of you winning. You know, I just feel like we haven't played our hardest the games that we lost. So
Yeah. Still a long season ahead,
yeah,
luckily. Um, right now you're averaging about 16.7 points a game. Yeah, you started the year high. You're National Player of the Week a few weeks back.
hmm
How do you feel just kind of about your performance this year as a student athlete, and how are you looking to grow or hoping to grow?
I feel real good. I feel like I put in the work. You know, I come on days that some people don't come. I'm doing way better than last year. You know, because I ended my season last year so early. So I feel good. I feel like I deserve it. I put in the work for it. So it's just hard work paying off.
I got to ask. We recorded that halftime interview a few weeks back. I don't remember
Uh-huh.
when, but one of the student journalists asked you about 3-point shooting. I
Uh,
noticed you haven't had an attempt yet.
no, I haven't.
Yeah, when can we expect you to put up a three?
You gotta ask my coach. I can't even answer that.
I thought about asking him that,
I
but
gotta hold on. I gotta make free throws first.
yeah.
Yeah.
uh, you know, since this is your first time on, I usually like to ask the student athletes, a little bit about what kind of brought you to JJC. I know you're a sophomore here, but you weren't, on the podcast last year.
hmm
You know, what kind of brought you to JJC from a basketball perspective and even a school perspective?
School
And also,
perspective.
also, what's your major if you have one?
Uh, what brought me here? You know, I had a kind of a rough upcoming high school. You know, I went to Leo Catholic High School. Um, got some stuff happened with my grades, so went to like two other schools, and I stopped hooping. I had a it's something called a heart murmur, so I wasn't able to hoop for like 2 years, and then I wanted to give up, but I just kept going. I was like, all right, I'm gonna keep trying. Coach came to one of my practices, and he seen me work out. I got his number. We exchanged numbers, and then from there on, he showed me around. You know, he just told me everything that was going to happen if I came here, and I just, I kind of went with it.
Cool. I asked a little bit, what do you have a major yet?
Major, oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I got a major business.
Yeah. That's cool. You taking a lot of business classes, or is it just
Not
gen eds
not
right
even.
now?
It's just a whole bunch of everything.
Yeah. So what's great about the JUCO level, you can kind of experiment a little bit.
Yeah, because I'm still like undecided.
Yeah.
You know.
Uh, you know, the heart murmur thing, that's something I didn't know about you.
hmm
What was I want I don't want to ask like what it
No,
was
you
like,
good. You could
but
ask anything.
kind of coming back from that, you were off from playing the game for a couple of years, getting back into it, coming to JJC for it.
hmm
Just kind of like what was the process like and what was your mentality like to kind of stick with basketball?
So I found, well, I've been knew I was born with it, but I was having a good year. It was my sophomore year. Everything was going good. Then I went to the doctor and I did like a stress test, and I guess the results didn't come back too well. So I had to sit, and I was kind of like, after I sat for a while, then COVID happened. I got unmotivated. I don't really know what sparked me to like, keep fighting and keep like going to, get back on track with basketball. I don't know. I just think that it was just meant for me. So, after I got that spark back, I started working out. I started losing weight because I gained a lot of weight during quarantine. So I started putting in a lot of work, and then now I'm back.
Hey man, I feel that the weight during the quarantine.
Yeah,
Uh, can you tell me a little bit about what you like here at JJC? Whether it's the facilities, your teammates,
yeah.
classes, professors, staff here in the athletics building, just anything. Like what do you like most about your time here at JJC?
I almost like everything. I like the coaching. The coaching is pretty cool. I like my teammates. I love my teammates. That's what makes the team.
Yeah.
Brings everybody together. I feel like if you close with your teammates, that's just you get better results on the court. So
Yeah.
I like the facility. Everything it looks good.
Yeah. On the topic of your teammates, I want to ask a little bit about chemistry because your coach talked about chemistry. Seems like off the court and even on the court, you guys have it in terms of being teammates. He was talking about, finding the right formula for success on the court. But those two things can be related. How do you see the chemistry of this team kind of building towards that success that both you guys and the coach want to see?
I say it started last year with the it started last year because we got 5 of the same guys from last year. So started last year, and now it's just like it's spreading. We've been knowing each other since our freshman year, so we kind of like showing the freshmen how to come together and win. If we all come together, then we start winning, and everything starts to you know go with the flow.
Yeah. What's your favorite part about playing basketball?
Um, Winning.
Winning. I like that. Well, Devin, you've got a game to get ready for. I don't want to keep you too much longer. I also have to disconnect everything and take it down for the women's game. But I appreciate you running upstairs to join me here on Coffee with the Wolves, and hopefully we can have you back on. If not this, maybe another interview
No,
down
that's
the
fine.
road.
That's fine.
Cool. And to everyone else, we'll be back next week with more Coffee on the Wolves. Thanks.